In the United States, there's a structure that's called COG, and it stands for Continuity of Government. And during the Iran-Contra scandals, they were active. During September 11th, they were active. They were active during the JFK assassination. And the story we're told about COG, and they have underground military bases in Virginia and God knows where else. But the story we're told is that they're there in case there's an EMP attack or nuclear attack or some sort of event. And they're charged with keeping the society going. And so they have all these emergency structures. But when we talk about the deep state, when we talk about where real entrenched power is in the United States, we have to look at COG. And this is actually something that comes from the research of Peter Dale Scott. Because he suggested something in a short video clip that I saw that I couldn't get it out of my mind. He suggested that actually they're there to respond to the emergencies, but in a sense they're making the emergencies. But when they make the emergencies, like through these false flag events, they're actually reacting to what they perceive as an emergency, which is the liberalization and democratizing movements. So MK Ultra was about destroying the democratizing movements of the 1960s. But think about that. If there's an entrenched mafia at the very core of our government that's involved in terrorism and drug trafficking and assassinations, murder incorporated, they would perceive as a threat if there was peace and if there was real, like the kind of peace we thought was going to happen at the end of the Cold War. They see that as a threat because if there was peace, there would no longer be that state of emergency which suspends the democratic norms, the exception. And Carl Schmitt said that he who had the real power in a society, if you want to know who holds the real power in a country, look at who can declare the exception, who can declare the emergency. And he used his theories to actually argue against the Nazis coming to power, although he's associated with Nazism. He's one of the dissidents of National Socialism, like Martin Heidegger and so many others. But think about that, COG, continuity of government. They created 9/11, they orchestrated 9/11 to keep the two-state solution off the table, to keep the United States from becoming a more transparent country. And they would have seen that they would have been discovered because of all the money laundering and irregularities in trading. If 9/11 hadn't happened when it did, a lot of people would have gone down. Besides Enron, a lot of companies would have gone down besides Enron, and it would have happened years before. So it just let them kick the can a little further down the road. But if this continuity of government, if they're able to make emergencies so they can then declare the emergency, because they see the emergency as democratic movements. The 5 million hippie march on Washington that the assassinations of the 1960s didn't allow it to happen. With Operation Chaos, Operation MK Ultra, it didn't allow it to happen because they killed the political leaders and they got the political parties like the Black Panthers killing each other inside their movements. And they're just keeps going, moving towards more and more authoritarianism, and more false flag events and pseudo events, until one day there'll probably be an all-out dictatorship in the United States or world war. But since we're going there so incrementally, we don't notice it. There's some people that do. I had been expecting 2020, even though everybody else around me seems surprised.